All right, guys, and welcome back to another episode of the Electric Fantasy Football Podcast. I am the Electric One, and today, I feel like I keep saying this on every guest that I have, but today I have a man who is currently at the top of the leaderboard in the fantasy football standings currently, and that is my good friend, Al Mousouleas. Al, how's it going, buddy?
Not bad. How you doing?
Good. You know, it's crazy. I haven't said your last name out loud in a while. It's like softball days. So I was just like, when I said your first name, I was like, do I know how to pronounce his last name still? But did I get it right?
Close enough.
So how's it going, man? How's the boy?
Yeah, he's doing good. He's still a little handful, you know.
How old is he now?
He's 6, be 7 in December.
We were on a walk earlier with Megan and I with the boys, and we brought up how I was doing the podcast with you today, and she had no idea that you had a child, and she's like, how old is this child? And I was like, at least 6, possibly 7. Yeah, so that's well. So that's good that he's doing. Is he getting any sports or anything yet?
Yeah, he's been playing T-ball. He starts basketball again here at the YMCA in January. Just signed him up for it.
That's so cool, man. I miss like doing little league sports and just not having any cares in the world besides, just going to my YMCA game and like maybe getting like ice cream or something after.
Oh, yeah. Now he loves it though, so hey, I'm not forcing it. That's a good thing.
Does he have can you tell what his skill is? Like, is he like in soccer? Is he like does he use his body, or is he more of like he's clear the zone?
More finesse type guy.
Finesse.
Yeah. Hopefully he'll use speed.
How about in basketball? Same thing?
Yeah, he more likes to pass than shoot. I can tell you that much. He's one of the kids that is not fighting over the ball to shoot all the time.
It's just like his dad.
Yeah.
That's cool, man. Other family member, how's the dogs? How many dogs do you have now?
Well, I got 2 and Rebecca's got 1. So
do they all live, like, are they all like together a lot?
Cloudy's not as much because he goes with Alex most of the time because he kind of
his dog now, sort of thing.
But Percy and Sadie are almost together all the time.
That's cool. I couldn't imagine having, like, I have 2 dogs, man. It's like, I mean, I have Bradley, but just having 3 dogs, that's insane. But I mean, you're a dog guy just like me, and like more the merrier, because like I couldn't imagine my life without Luke and Milo, and like just living my whole life without dogs for not my whole life, but like a good decade or so without having like an actual pet that I took care of. And now I have like, these 2. It's a game changer. It's like having a kid, and obviously probably not as hard.
Yeah.
But
just like starting to push the envelope on that one. She's a little handful.
Really?
Oh yeah, she's a little spunky, like crazy. Breck actually went viral on TikTok because of her.
Really?
Yeah, she had it was like 26 million views, like 3 million likes on some little video about reverse sneezing. It went crazy.
Oh, I think she had that on her Snapchat.
Yeah.
I have no clue what that was. I couldn't understand. I was just like, what is this?
I was like, yeah, my dog made you famous.
I know. You start making some money off those dogs, man.
Yeah.
Are all 3 dogs pit? Or are they
they're all kind of mixed. Cloudy's the most all pit, basically. But Percy, we think she's more Vizsla than anything. So I'm gonna get a dog DNA test done on her. Then things aren't perfect, but at least get some kind of idea. So I don't think she's got that much pit in her, honestly.
Yeah.
But not that bad. She's more skinnier, like smaller head and all that.
3 pit bulls, man. That's good for you. So yeah, I mean, besides the fam and all that, what's been going on? I mean, obviously we have a huge back history in softball, so I'll quickly go into that to start it for people that don't know. So obviously this is a Gale Fantasy Football League that is my current employer and Al's former employer. It's funny because the one person in this league that I didn't meet at Gale was Al. We met through softball. What year was that? Like 2013? I was trying to think earlier today when we played with Jesse and on the first Berserk team.
Berserk.
Yeah. Was that 2013?
I think it was, honestly. I want to say it was 13.
So crazy. It's been 10 years since we met. But yeah, so that's how we met. We met through softball. And then we've been good friends ever since. We won a lot of games together. We've won how many championships did we win? Was it 3?
I want to say
actually, if you count the co-eds, it's 5.
Oh yeah, we had that one year we won 2 in a row in co-ed. And
yeah. So I think we won 3 men's tournaments together, and then we won those 2 co-eds together for sure that I can think of.
Yeah.
So long history, good times there. And then you came to Gale. That was out of my recommendation, and you were a great asset. That was like 2018?
Well, it's been about a year and a half since I left, and I was there for basically 2 years.
Yeah, so you left like in the kind of the beginning of the pandemic.
Yeah, like I was a little bit into the pandemic. We were working at home for say 3-4 months. And then
I'd say so. It was probably 2018.
Yeah.
So that's the background of how we know each other and how he's related to Gale. He's unlike my buddy Kenny, who was on the second episode, and he was just a last minute fill-in, and now he's here for the long haul. But speaking of softball, so how'd softball go this year? I try and stay as up to date as I can from social media, but besides that, like, what was going on? Like, who'd you play for? All the good stuff.
Not tend to be a team jumper, so I just stuck it out with Dynasty Rampage team this year. So I had a few friends that joined the team too, but more of a dumpster fire, I'd say. If anything, this year wasn't that fun. Let's put it that way. A lot of drama, a lot of bullshit.
So I see softball hasn't changed since I left.
It's gotten worse, if anything.
Worse.
Make me not like it as much. That's why I like the 35 and over now, and just
play golf, man.
Yeah, no, golf and bowling. That's why I missed a lot of tournaments this year. I golfed way more this summer than I would have ever.
Yeah, man. We went golfing together. That was Rebecca's like one of her first times ever golfing.
Yeah.
She did great.
Yeah, for her first time, I was impressed. I'll say that much.
Have you guys gone since then or no?
Nah.
Oh, it's a bummer. But yeah, I mean, next year it's
for sure.
Yeah. I mean, I played a lot this year, but I'm playing even more next year. So you mentioned bowling. You're doing, was it Sunday mornings you're doing now?
Yeah, joined the Sunday morning league.
Is that Town and Country?
No, it's actually in Elm Park over at Roosevelt Lanes.
Oh, wow.
Close to my house, like a 5-minute drive, if that. So nice.
That's cool.
Yeah. Town and Country.
What's the average right now?
It is at a 198.
98. All right. That's probably the highest I've ever seen you have, right?
Yeah, no, I'm bowling good this year. I don't know, this seems to be working finally.
Are you still using the same balls? Or, I mean, and that's another history for everyone that's listening or watching. We have we've won at least a couple bowling championships together.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. But do you still use the same ball, or did you buy a new one?
A couple years ago, and actually in the Town Country League, at the end of the year, the 50-50, every team got one ticket for a free bowling ball, and we just drew a card. And I got one, so I got the Phase 3 Storm a couple years ago, and I love that ball now.
How long I probably asked you this question when we used to bowl together, but how long does like a new bowling ball usually last?
It all depends, really, how you take care of it. You don't leave it in your car and let it get cold and crack, but as long as you see it still reacting and hitting the way you want it to, it could last a long time. I know a few buddies that have had the same ball for 15 years, basically. some guys will go through balls every year. It's more of a personal preference.
I can't tell you how many times when I lived in my apartment that I got home from bowling, I was just like, I'll just grab my ball tomorrow because I was so tired. I didn't want to walk it all the way up those steps.
Oh yeah.
And I just left it in there until the next week's bowling. So
yeah, I learned my lesson 2 years ago. I had 3 of my 5 balls just completely crack around because of sitting in the cold. I'm like, well, but finally it's starting to happen. I never believed it, but yep.
how close together do they crack?
Oh, I had 2 crack within 2 weeks, and the other one was like 3 weeks later after that. I was like, wow, I just lost 3 balls out of nowhere.
That's just bad luck, man.
Oh yeah. And one of them was one of my favorite balls that seems like anything I threw, it was just perfect. But of course, you can't find it anymore. Everyone's selling it for like $400 or $500 if you want it.
Just the limited edition balls that they don't make anymore. It's a moneymaker, man. These, like, it reminds me of softball bats.
Oh yeah, it's crazy. They just keep the new stamp out now, so now you got to get the new technology.
Wait, so there's another new stamp since I left?
Yeah,
So
the old stamp's still grandfathered in, but the testing standards have changed. The new stamps now, you have another year or two, and they're going to force everyone to use the new stamp.
it's a business, man. It's a money
Oh, yeah.
game. That's insanity. That is insanity because if you invested a bat, like I've never cracked. I don't think I've ever cracked one of my bats. I know my bat didn't test good anymore, but I mean, I don't think I've ever broke a bat. Guess I don't swing hard enough,
Yeah, I've never broke one either, but I've watched people break it.
So speaking of breaking, we're going to talk about the fantasy football season. Like I already mentioned, that you have breaking into first place. You had a slow start too, didn't you? Because I remember texting you.
0-2.
Yeah, you're 0-2. Now you're sitting 5-2 with the now you have the most points scored in the league. You overtook
averaging
Chris.
About 140 the last 5 weeks.
Jeez. That is impressive. Like I said, you and Tom are both 5-2. Tom beat me on Monday Night Football. I think I've lost at least 4 games coming down to Monday night this year, so that's fun.
I ain't gonna lie, I was rooting for you so I could be the sole first there. I was like, come on.
As soon as I saw Stevenson get that catch within like a 40-yard after the catch, I was like, okay, he just needs literally to do anything, and then he scores a touchdown that same drive. So I was like, yeah, that's it. But yeah, so you're sitting atop of the leaderboard and you have the most points scored. So before we get into what's going on current, what was your draft strategy? Because you and I talked a lot at the draft, and we were talking to each other pretty much the whole time. So what was your draft strategy? I know you told a lot of stuff to me during it, but go ahead and expand on that. Like, what were you shooting for, and what pick did you have, and all that?
Well, the key thing for me is I like to find running backs to catch a lot because we do a PPR league. So you can try to get best of both worlds because they're going to get a lot of rushing yards usually too. And then I always like to match my quarterback with one of the top wide receivers so you get them double points all the time. That's the biggest thing I was shooting for. And I don't know, it kind of worked, but then I had a couple busts because I took some gambles on some running backs that I thought might be good from injury last year. And it's not working out too well for a few of them, but I don't know. Where did I have the 7th pick? I think it was. I can't remember.
And you took Eckler?
Yep.
Yeah, that's my guy, dude. I love him. Fucking solid.
J.K. Dobbins, of course, goes to the Niner now, and then who knows what's going on with Cam Akers. I'm like, wow, that was a great pick.
Yeah, it's never good. I told Easy this because Easy has him in the league I'm with him, and I was like, it's never good when your running back's a healthy scratch.
Yeah, like they don't even want him at practice or on the team. It's like, come on. And then that trade to San Francisco really hurt me big time with running backs because I had sitting there with Jeff Wilson Jr. and Mitchell, and now they go and pick up Christian McCaffrey. And I'm like, well, there goes both them running backs now.
I'm looking at your roster right now, and I don't want to get it. I'm going to save it till after we keep going with the draft talk, but your running back position is just depleted.
Oh, it got hit hard in the last couple of weeks. I've been trying now to scramble. So we'll see. It's it's gonna be rough to finish the year out. I'll say that much.
Yeah, I mean, so obviously the draft didn't go as according to plan, but it's obviously what you've done after the draft is working. You're, like I said, you're 5-2. You're sitting atop the leaderboard with Team Lemon. So after you left my house the day of the draft, you must have been feeling good, right? Like you're feeling solid about your draft.
Oh yeah, I actually feeling real good, and I was hoping, the couple gambles I took there should have been studs this year. That's what I was thinking in my head.
Who was the one guy that you thought was going to be a stud?
J.K. Dobbins mostly. I thought he would
Yeah,
all year this year for sure.
yeah, that's tough. I mean, didn't he just come back too, and then he got hurt again?
Yep, he was out for like the first 4 weeks, even though he was supposed to start the season, and then he comes back for like, I think it was 2 or 3 weeks, and now he's back on IR. It's like, come on, man.
You did draft TJ Hawkinson, who single-handedly beat me in our matchup.
Oh,
I was
yeah.
like, of course, the week I play Al, Hawkinson goes off for like 40 points.
Career highs of everything, basically.
I was watching the game and I was like, obviously rooting for the Lions, but I'm like, he just keeps throwing to Hawkinson. Like, throw to anybody else. Anyway,
like last week, it was Jamar Chase and Burrow just nonstop to each other. I'm like, yeah, just keep going, just keep going.
that is a deadly combo with the Burrow Chase. And because now they're clicking and the Bengals are like, they're going to be favored in a lot of the rest of the games throughout for the rest of the season. So, yeah, man, that's going to be carrying you through the playoffs and stuff too. Because they should still be in competitive games too throughout the season.
We had Doris would throw Eckler in there, and them three can just kind of carry it for me.
Yeah, man, your team's solid. You did a good job out of the draft. And is there anyone that you really wanted that got taken? There's always like that one guy you're like, yeah, I was really shooting for so and so.
Before I got Hawk, because I always try to get one line just so I have something to watch more, because the games aren't too much to watch for. Mm-hmm. Skalski stole what's his name? Why am I drawing a blank? Running back.
Swift?
Yeah, Swift. DeAndre Swift. I don't know why I'm drawing a blank, but yeah, he took.
You did want him in the first round, but the good thing you didn't pick him.
I know. Look back at it now, I'm like, okay, well, that's not a bad thing, because of course he's always injured, so that's all I need is another injured running back. But no,
yeah.
Try to get a different tight end, but then they ran off the board way too quick, and I was like, well, I got to get something now at this point.
Yeah, that's
Kittle. I don't know, but he hasn't had the best year, but I still think Kittle will turn it around.
Yeah, Kittle's gonna be fine. I don't know, San Francisco, man. It's like all those injuries on defense, and then Jimmy G's a game manager, man. He's not good from coming from behind, is what I've seen. He reminds me a lot of Cousins.
Yeah, no, it's a weird year for quarterbacks, that's for sure. You got some names out there that are doing amazing as quarterbacks, and it shouldn't even be nothing. And now you got some of the guys you thought would be better just struggling.
Do you think Tom's done after this year? He's for sure done out of Tampa, right?
Oh yeah, he should have never even came back this year. Look, he basically ruined his whole life by coming back, in my opinion.
Do you think he retires or goes to like New Orleans or Miami?
If he's smart, he would retire and just go to the broadcast booth. Like, he's already got the contract for it with Fox, so why not just step out and do that now? You've already.
What's your opinion on Rodgers?
Overpaid. You should have never gave him that much money, because now look, they can't even field a team basically.
It's who, with, like Tom said that on last week's podcast. He was like, Green Bay does this thing where they just keep pumping money to Aaron Rodgers and they just give him nobody to pass to.
They think like he can just make everyone better.
Yeah. He's like, that's only going to work for so long. And now look at it.
I'm hoping, because I don't like Green Bay, that just ruined that team for a few years, where they're just going to be nothing for a while.
Just depleted because of that contract. And he's
going
to play it out.
He's so greedy. If he wanted a team, he wouldn't have taken that big of a contract and took a less so he could get better players on there. Because look at Devontae Adams. He's a stud. He's making Carr look better. Oakland, not the best team, but he's still, Devontae Adams still putting up numbers every week.
I'm not going to lie, though. I watched a few of those Raiders games, and Carr can sling the long ball, man.
Oh yeah, nothing
On
against
the
Carr.
run too.
I feel like he makes some dumb decisions sometimes. That's his biggest downfall.
Yeah.
But they got that old college connection. They're buddies. That's seems like in the NFL that you get that old college connection. The buddy, they just play better. Look at Hurts and AJ Brown over in Philly now too. You got Burrow and Chase. It's like,
I mean, just think of anything. Like if say you and I were, say we're baseball players, and you were a pitcher, and I caught your games your whole life and stuff like that, and it's like, wouldn't you want me to, you're just so much more comfortable with me, like as like a safety blanket,
oh yeah,
it makes perfect sense, and I don't see why ex-players wouldn't want to play with each other when they get to the NFL.
oh yeah, exactly. I don't understand why they wouldn't either. It's like you said, the comfort level.
Yeah, so now we're gonna look at your matchup for this week and what's going on in the regular season. So what I wanted to bring up is who your running backs are this week. So right now you have in your lineup Darrell Henderson Jr. and Deontay Foreman.
Yeah.
Is that the game plan?
I got some waiver wires I'm hoping go through, but still, it's not going to look much better. Put it that way. Told you, I've gotten hurt and bad now. I was hoping for Mitchell to come back. I was riding that Wilson Jr. train for a while. And right when I seen that trade, I'm like, I'm a big Carolina Panthers fan, which they got rid of Christian because, he's always hurt. But it's like, you got to trade him to there of all teams. For my fantasy aspect, I'm like, you just completely screwed my whole team with running backs now.
Yeah, because I played Tom last week and he had McCaffrey, and I texted him. I was just like, man, this I was like, good game. Like, he's gonna tear it up for San Fran. He's like, this is the absolute worst possible thing that can happen to me because he doesn't know the playbook and they're gonna rush him in there. He might get injured, blah blah blah. So he was on like the opposite end of you.
Well, I listened to a lot of stuff. They're saying they're so impressed because he's so smart that he picked the playbook right away. That's why he was playing right away because he only had 2 days.
I mean, he's probably the best all-purpose back in the league.
And he came from Stanford, and like they said, he's just a really smart guy too. On top of it, I still kept Wilson Jr. in because I didn't really have many options this week. Still got me 5 points. I guess it's better than nothing, right?
Better than zero, because I've gotten a few zeros from my tight end spots this year. So that's neither here nor there. So you're playing Haines this week. He's sitting at 4-3, so he's right behind you. So a win here would tie you guys in the standings. I'm gonna look at the buys. So he's pretty healthy.
Yeah.
He's healthy and he doesn't have anyone on buys. But you're projected to tie right now. So
I'm hoping these couple waiver pickups go through and I might be able to tweak this lineup a little bit and we'll see how it works.
Yeah, he has the opposite problem. He's really deep at running back. I mean, if you want to call James Conner deep, but that's like glass. But yeah, this is gonna be a good matchup. I think for sure the Cincinnati playing Cleveland is gonna really benefit you. And I think the big thing for him is gonna be, I mean, you got Kenneth Walker going against the Giants. Giants defense has been doing well.
Talk about a dude that's just gonna probably take.
He's gonna take over. And then since Jets guy just got hurt too, the rookie.
Yeah.
He's still got a chance to win Rookie of the Year.
Oh, I bet you he does. Like he's gonna be something special, I think, in the NFL.
I mean, I got the pleasure to watch every single game he played last year. He's a beast.
Well, you look at it now, like State from last year to this year, it's like he really did. I know it's not just him, but he made that team so much better.
He made the offense for sure.
Yeah, he is a stud. Like I was watching a few of the games, watching Red Zone Channel the past couple of weeks. And I'm like, wow. Like I wish I could have him on my fantasy team right now. This dude's just gonna put up numbers every week.
I actually talked about a potential trade for him in this. We were inside the office and I was talking to Haines about it. I just never kept going with the trade talks, but yeah, man, that guy's he's sick. That's gonna be my next jersey for sure. surprised I don't already have it, but
Oh yeah, and then I was just looking at my team, Marquise Brown, Hollywood. He went out a couple weeks ago too. So better, like here comes the series.
He was doing solid, wasn't he? Let me look at his
Oh
stats.
yeah,
Dude, he got 17 targets.
yeah, it's insane.
He's had 4 double-digit games for targets. That's incredible for fantasy.
The game he got hurt in, he still had 9 targets and 5 catches.
It's crazy when you leave Baltimore's offensive system what you can do as a receiver.
Like I even think with Hopkins coming back, he still would have kept getting maybe not 17 targets, but he still might be getting double-digit targets or at least 8 or 9 a game.
I watched that Arizona game last week though, and I could just tell that Kyler was just forcing it to Hopkins because Hopkins was getting mad on the sidelines.
That's the biggest problem between them two. That's what's
my God, it's gonna be like that until they split up. So you're projected to tie. What's your prediction here?
I'm hoping that I can keep that Burrow Chase combo and they get me a big cushion to sit on. I don't know. I think Henderson Jr. he might be a good running back. He's the only guy now, so it's like
if the Rams can get going on offense, though, I mean, you can't be handing the ball off to him. I mean, hopefully get some catches out of the backfield. I mean, it is Stafford. He likes to throw to running backs.
He's got that elbow problem. Hopefully, he can't throw too far. He's got to dump it off. That offensive line can't hold nothing for him, so hopefully he gets some. Got to dump, check down. That's what kind of happened for me last week with Eckler. That dude didn't really have any rushing yards, but he had.
What do you have, like 8 catches or something like that?
12.
12?
Yeah. 2 touchdowns. That's how I was like, wow. At 12 targets, 12 receptions, 96 yards receiving.
Yeah.
But
36 fantasy points. Yeah, he's been a beast.
Oh yeah, he's been killing it. It's
so
the best catching backs in my opinion. That's why I wanted to get him.
So does the Christian Missionaries win this week?
I'm gonna say yeah, because I got to run that hot streak. I've been going. My guys have been just performing for me.
We didn't really talk about your team name. You don't have McCaffrey in your team anymore.
I've been rolling with the same team name because I'm not gonna change it now. Winning, so why would I change?
That's so funny.
I'm a little superstitious.
that's how like everyone is in this league. I think I'm the only one that's changed my team name since this league started.
I got Christian right away that first year because I think I was first or second pick, and of course I've never been able to get a chance to pick him before I even came to my pick again.
Yeah, because you're in love with Carolina. Are you still like that big of a Carolina fan?
Oh yeah, still a big Carolina fan. Look at them, what they did to Tampa Bay. They traded away half their team, and now they go blow out Tampa Bay. It makes a lot of sense.
It's not a good sign for Tampa Bay.
But no, Carolina just made a bad choice. College coach going to the NFL just don't work out 90% of the time.
We've talked a little bit about betting on games and stuff like that. We're talking about matchups and stuff. So now we're going to talk because you are a very avid sportsbook guy, just like I am. So you and I do discuss our bets and stuff like that sometimes. So for this part of the show, we're finishing up here. It's going to be, I don't know if you had a chance to look at the matchups this week and the spreads or anything. Have you been able to look at any of that?
Typically wait till Thursday to look at any of the stuff just because I know the lines change a lot and I don't like to jump on early lines. I like to wait and see injuries and this and that. So I typically do all my research Thursday after work basically, and then I'll do more research Saturday night and Sunday morning. I'm more of a wait till a couple hours before game time type of guy.
Well, I was going to ask you to give me one lock for this week's games. Do you have any idea who's playing who?
Yeah, no, I've obviously looked at some of the stuff, but if I had to pick one lock out of everything right now, I don't know. I'll say it's not a lock, but Lenny's all over the Lions for some reason, beating Dolphins this week. I don't know why.
But because they got to have more than one win.
I would go personally with the Commanders over the Colts.
I like that too with that new quarterback. Yeah.
With that running back taking over, what's his name? Robertson? No, is that his name? New running back.
Well, yeah, and also they benched Matt Ryan for that. Matt Ryan's done with the Colts, so now they're starting. I don't even know who that guy is. I think he was from
Yeah, I can't
Fourth
remember.
round pick out of, I don't know.
I think he was actually a 6th-round pick because he was their 3rd-string quarterback. He just jumped. What's his name? Nick Folk.
Yes, yeah, you're right.
Now
I
the
was
third.
thinking of Baylor Zappi because I saw
Oh yeah,
him play yesterday. He was a 4th round pick from Western Kentucky. That's what it was.
yeah. Who knows what's going on with New England over there with that?
Yeah.
Well, them Commanders and Gibson now being told he's a kickoff returner now after being their #1 running back, and when he gets his little chances now, it seems like he's still performing. I don't know what
And I know
there,
I hate to say it, but Tyler Henke is like the players just they look like so much more interested in the game than they do when Carson Wentz is in there. So
well, that's why keeps getting bounced from team to team because no one wants him as their quarterback.
he's very skilled. It's just he doesn't do anything like good, you know.
Yeah, no, he's
If that makes sense.
yeah. Him and Matt Ryan are very
similar. So your lock of the week is what's do you know the spread in that game is? You're just gonna do money line with Commanders
+3. I go money line though. So
yeah, it'd be nice little payout. Was it like plus 145?
yeah, I haven't looked actually on like DraftKings or any of that, but I'd assume it's probably around 160, 170 with being a +3 if you did money line.
Be a solid win.
Oh yeah.
What else would be a solid?
Are the 8 touchdown scores. I like to throw in like 5 or 6 of them.
Yeah, that's we should talk about that because you like to do a lot of that. You also like to do, which cracks me up, is the first basket scorer in the NBA.
Speaking of that, Cade Cunningham missed that 3-pointer to start this game, and that basket.
Yeah, he was wide open. I'm currently wearing like one of their limited edition throwback jerseys.
I was watching. I'm like, yes, he's shooting. Oh, he missed. I'm like, come on. I knew it was going to be him shooting for sure.
What was the odds on that?
Plus 900. So a bet pays you $45.
Solid.
Yeah, I don't go crazy on them first basket scores. I'll throw $5 here or there and hope it hits.
Did you bet on the World Series at all? Or are you going to?
No, I don't really bet on baseball. Every time I bet on baseball, it's not good. So I kind of try to stay away from baseball. I don't know why, just not really into baseball that much. Like basketball and NFL, especially NFL, are the only things I really like to bet on. I did some NHL last year right around this time, just messed around and did like a 9-game parlay for under a goal and a half in the first periods. And it hit for like $5,000 on a $5 bet. That was just pure fluke and luck, but you know,
that was your bet?
Yeah.
Oh, I mean, I obviously have to know about that. Was that last year?
Yeah, last year, right around this time.
Yeah.
Softball, I completely even forgot the bet, and I'm looking. I'm like, cash out offer for $3,000. What's going on? Like, oh, I made this bet. Oh my god! And I just let it ride too. It worked out.
It's got to be an absolute incredible feeling.
Oh, it was. The biggest
last
year was the Suns, though.
The Suns?
Well, I had them. Yeah, bet on.
Oh, you did. Yeah, to win it all. How much was that? What was the odds?
I bet $20 on them, and the payout was going to be, it was like 14,000 and something. And then when they gave me a cash out offer like $6,000 before the NBA championship started. I'm like, no, I'm not doing it. And right when the championship started, even though they went up 2-0, they never gave me another cash out offer. I'm like, what the hell's going on? I'm like, why? And then I'm like, I don't know. And I never got another cash out offer and just lost it.
That's a dagger, but it's also like a shot in the dark.
Oh yeah, it was just a pure, throw it out there at the beginning of the year type thing.
Do you bet college football?
Not really. Like the spreads are too crazy, and I'm the type of guy, I like money line bets. I don't like throwing in spreads in my bets because I hate giving points or I'll take points, obviously, don't get me wrong, but I hate giving points. Like that just scares me too much. So I like to do a lot of money line bets.
So Michigan is giving Michigan State 23 points this week in Ann Arbor. What's the score of the game?
I feel like Michigan's going to put up close to 40, but I still feel like
I can't see Michigan State losing by 23 points.
No, I still feel like State's going to score on them. It's a rivalry game. There's no way they're going to blow them out. You just don't think that. There's no way.
But I thought the same thing about. No, that's not true. But 23 points, man. Vegas knows what they're doing, right?
Oh, yeah. But all year, Michigan started off slow in the first half. They've always just blown the teams out in the second half. So maybe do a first half bet.
Yeah, I think I'm just gonna do my money line. It's over. It's plus 1,000 right now. So throw
Hey,
$20 on that, and then if I win $200, call it a day. Michigan State wins, and I get to rub it in, and that's about it.
hey, maybe they get up at halftime, you get a nice cash out offer even.
Yeah,
Because like I said, Michigan, they started slow.
7-3 at halftime.
Be
I
like
could
a
see 7-3.
10-14, something like that, or 17-10, 17-13.
I think McCaffrey's really going to struggle. Is it McCarthy? I call him McCaffrey.
Yeah.
McCarthy, yeah. I think McCarthy's really going to struggle if Michigan State does it right, which I think they're going to do. But I don't know. We'll see. But you still think Michigan wins, obviously, in a high-scoring affair? But
I say
they do not cover the spread.
But don't cover the spread. I think State's still going to score on them. Like I said, it's a rivalry game. There's no way that Michigan just goes in there and blows them out. Michigan hasn't really blown anyone out all year. Like I said, it's always been the second half to make the games look like blowouts.
That's true.
Partially because they're a rushing attack and they just beat that defense to death, I guess.
Yeah, that's why I just say we just put 9 people in the box and make McCarthy throw it. But
That's wouldn't be a bad idea.
and nothing to lose, in my opinion.
Yep. If he beats you in the air, hey, tip your hat to him. They just want to see if you can actually do it.
Yeah. And with that, we are going to go to the final part of this episode, which is the lightning round. And in the lightning round, I'm going to ask you, Al, 5 questions. These 5 questions are targeted towards you. So I would not be asking these 5 questions to Larry. I would not be asking these 5 questions to Chris, so on and so forth. So the object is for you to say the first thing that comes to mind. These are pretty easy questions. Some of them are funny. You get it. All right?
All right.
Now, question number 1. What is the most money you have won from a single bet since sports gambling went legal in Michigan? I think you already told us.
Actually, it wasn't from that. It was $28,000 from when I did your fantasy lineups on DraftKings before the legal betting. That was, you had a certain amount of money to spend on players. You make your own fantasy lineup.
Yeah, you made 28 grand?
Yep, off a $2 bet. I lost my mind screaming at the TV at like midnight. That was when I was with my ex, and she's coming out screaming at me for yelling at the TV. And I'm like, look. She's like, how much did you bet? I'm like, $2.
You had to have. I don't know. You had to have told me this, but
this was Alex was 1, so
yeah, definitely. I was around
5 years ago. Yeah.
Wow, 28,000.
Baby. Yeah, it was insane. On a $2 DraftKings thing.
That's what I'm trying to do. That's why I don't really like betting parlays, because I know it's a sucker's bet, but I like to throw not in high money on it. But damn, all right, that's sick.
Little side note on that one too. That's when Carson Wentz was with the Philadelphia Eagles, and he threw a pick at the end there. And if he didn't throw that pick, it would have been $75,000. That pick dropped me down to 3rd place instead of 1st.
Wow, so you have a vendetta against Carson Wentz.
Oh yeah, yeah. But obviously, like I was so mad, but I'm like, I'd be mad. Like I just won this much money still off $2. Like, so it was like.
It's like woulda, coulda, shoulda, because you're happy that you won money. So now you can be like, oh, if only he didn't do that.
Yeah.
That's easier said than done.
Exactly.
But congrats, man. Congrats. Question number 2. So I know you own a lot of jerseys like I do. How many jerseys do you think you own? If you had to put a number on it.
Roughly, it's close to 70 jerseys if you want to add basketball, baseball, and football together.
Dang, we're just gonna get together one day and just bring all our jerseys and just
I got so many old school basketball ones.
I know, man.
Basketball today.
Those are the ones I'm jealous of that I can't get my hands on now. You do a lot of horse betting. We've gone to the track plenty of times together. What is your go-to horse bet? So if you had to play just one horse bet, would it be like a trifecta? Would you do the super?
I'd do a trifecta all day. Box it though. You gotta box it.
So boxing a trifecta is so you do like the 2, 4, and the 6. It can
So
they can come in any order.
I love doing my box because I've been burned too many times when I've not boxed and I get that first, but then the second and third are flipped, or the first and second. I'm like, if I would have just boxed it, I still could have won. So yeah, you gotta.
I'm pretty sure you're the one that got me to that. I do a lot of key box bets too, but sweet. Let's piggyback on that. What's the most you've won from a horse bet?
Honestly, I couldn't even tell you, but it's nothing like to brag about. It's probably 2, 3, 4, maybe $500 if that.
Yeah.
Always only a couple $100 here or there.
That's always at Northfield Downs. You don't do online, do you? Like
No, I did that. I did 1 year for a little bit for the the Derby and whatnot.
Yeah.
No, mostly just mess around Northfield Downs. My grandpa got me into it back in the day. He used to take me every Friday to the Windsor track with him. So it's kind of a just sentimental thing like to do still.
Maybe we can go to the Downs this year.
Oh yeah, for sure.
As long as it's not close to
not closed down.
No, they changed. That's completely done. That's completely like that's not happening anymore.
Oh
yeah. That was like
every year it was like, oh, we're closing after this year. Oh, we're closing after this year. And that went on for like 4 or 5 years. Like
I think they signed the lease through 2026.
That's awesome. I love it. I know it's not the nicest place, but it's just so cool to get out.
I love it. It's so easy and people don't bother you.
Yes.
Question 4. I forgot I wrote this. How many times have you been slapped in the face during a softball game?
Well, it's probably only once, and they got us a nice little forfeit win. Move on in the worlds down there.
You want to tell that story quickly?
There's a lot of arguing going back and forth. Our girls were arguing with their coaches on the sidelines. Actually, they called both coaches in. And I'm running in from the outfield, and I was pointing, saying like, "Hey, no, look at the guy right now. He's bitching with our girls right now." And the dude slapped my hand out of there, and then I was like, "You're out of here." And next the other coach comes out screaming, throwing his clipboard, and he's like, "You're out of here." And next like 4 people got thrown out. He's like, "You don't got enough to play. You're forfeit," even though they were about to mercy us. Then we move on to go play our rivals, basically, with and beat them in a close game. I think it was ended up being like 6-5 to move on, finish top 4, top 5 in Florida World.
We were top 5. That game against Trevor and Stefan and them, it was I was at third base and I made the last out. I threw the guy out to James at first, and I was just like, I think I cried just because it was just like, it was cool, man. To play against them in that really nice field in Florida, to get to be a top 5 in the world.
That's when softball was still booming too, and you're having 80 teams out there for Worlds. Not the same anymore.
No, that was good old days, man. E-softball, there was like 25 teams in Michigan. Oh, it was fun.
I think I still got that video somewhere of that dude slapping me though.
if you have it, like send me it or tag me it so I can throw it in this edit.
Okay, I'll try to dig it up for you.
And last but not least, I know you love your fast food. So what is your favorite fast food place, and what is your go-to order? I think I know it.
You already know this answer. It's McDonald's 2 cheeseburger meal, no onions, no pickles, large Coke.
So 2 cheeseburgers. No pickles, no onions. So you have mustard and ketchup on there.
Yep. I don't like my vegetables.
And you don't eat fries.
Well, the fries come with it, but I don't know, not a big fry guy. But if I'm super hungry, I'll.
The 2 cheeseburger meal.
Yeah.
Dude, I used to get that when I was like 12, bro. It was the number 2 back in the day. Is this the number 2?
I don't know, honestly. I just say 2 cheeseburger meal, to be honest with you, but McDonald's getting so outrageous, it's not even really worth it anymore, truthfully. It's like I go there, it's like I used to get it because it was one of the cheaper meals, but now it's like $8-9 just for that meal. It's like, really? Like I can go get real food for that now. That's why I didn't get real food. I just get this because it was less than $5.
That's crazy. Fast food's that much money now.
Oh, it's outrageous. I don't eat fast food as much anymore because the reason I did it was just quick and cheap.
I mean, I would just prefer to call up a Coney Island real quick and go pick that ready in like 10 minutes.
Oh, I do that so much more now. Just call up places and just take some takeout instead. Because it's like I'm spending the same amount of money, so why not?
That's crazy.
Still love my McDonald's though. Got to do it everyone.
I mean, so do I, because like I rarely eat that food, and when I do, I don't care about price. Megan and I just order the whole menu.
Yeah, see, for me, it was always about the price. That's why I went there so much. Value. Gotta get the value for the buck.
But it's still your top dog, huh?
Oh yeah. If I had to get a fast food, that's it for sure. Hands down.
Well, cool, man. I appreciate you being on. It was good catching up with you.
Oh, yeah.
We got to get together, do something this winter. Just is Top Golf all year long?
Yeah, they got the heated. They're nice and heated, and you just go up there and play.
That's what we should do with the females, or possibly even bowling or something.
Yeah.
But cool, man. I appreciate you coming on, and good luck this week against Chris Haines. That'll be another big win for you.
Oh yeah. And I could keep going, but too sweet.